Hey, welcome to the Pod Couple. I'm Podguy, and we've got a very special movie edition. We just got back from Alien Covenant. Is that what it is?
That's what it is. Yep. Alien something. Yeah.
Covenant.
It doesn't matter.
I hate that name. Anyways, so we just came back. I've got Dougems with us,
Hey, how's it going?
and I got Paul Whittington with us.
Hello, hello.
And we're just going to talk about the movie and kind of let you know what we thought. And just be wary that there might be spoilers. So, well, there'll definitely be spoilers. So
There will be some. Yeah.
wait till you see the show, but maybe you shouldn't.
Well, okay.
First of all, I'll learn how to talk. First of all, I'll have to say that I was super pumped to see this movie, and I was, really excited, and was hoping that it would be super awesome. And guess what?
You didn't like it?
I don't think it was super awesome. I'll tell you that. So, what did you guys think?
I'm 50-50 on it. I was kind of the opposite. I went in not expecting much, and actually I kind of
You got what you came for.
No, I was 50-50. Story-wise, I liked what was going on. I thought it went in from Prometheus to this one seamlessly. And I really loved the character of David, the characterization around him. I thought Michael Fassbender played him like really well. And I liked the themes. There, you got that reoccurring theme of the creator and the wanting to destroy its creator, the creation and all that, which you see in Prometheus. There's lots of instances of that theme, and they've carried it over to this one. And I think it's more of a repeating theme that you see in a couple of Ridley Scott's movies, like Blade Runner, destroying the creator and all that kind of stuff. So that theme I liked in it. What I didn't like so much was the action scenes. I just thought there wasn't enough suspense and tension, and it was all action. So for me, that was kind of where I didn't really care for it all that much.
Dougums, what did you think of this
Wow.
mess?
Wow. Well, yeah, I wasn't really excited about it. I was expecting something a little more suspenseful.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't think it delivered for me. I don't recall anything about it that was really like, wow, that's really amazing. Or, I mean, you're right about the story between David and Walter there. The
The characterization and all
his creator. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, I didn't find it suspenseful enough.
Yeah, like the original Alien, that's kind of what it's known for. That's its signature thing, is you've got all that suspense and the tension, right? And then the delivery. And this one, it's like 90% delivery, but very little buildup. It happened, like, especially the final alien creature scene, like where it's on the ship and that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was all, it came and went. The whole thing was like, 5 minutes?
It was terrible.
Yeah.
The whole movie was god awful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. For me, it was just boring. Like, there was nothing engaging. I didn't care about the characters or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When they showed the alien,
I thought it kind of looked a little CGI-ish at the beginning.
it looked too, like, it just did not look good.
The
right?
last one looked good. It's on the ship. They did it, but the first one, yeah.
Yeah. The one on the ship did look good, and that's, I guess, going back to the classic Alien that we know and
Right.
love.
Black
yeah.
one, right? Yeah.
Knowing that David is the one who's kind of engineering the whole thing
Right.
and stuff, yeah.
And, I didn't like that, they would, like, why did they go on that planet and not have any kind of breathing apparatus? Would you just kind of land on an unknown planet and just walk out of your ship and, go, hey, man, okay, we'll get some samples over here and stuff, right? Like,
Yeah, well, I guess they monitored and they could tell what it
checked
was
it,
and stuff.
right, yeah.
And the whole thing,
they've
well,
got a test strips.
of course.
that do
We
that
didn't get
thing.
to see them do that, though.
of course, because it's the planet where the engineers come from, right? So of course it would have the atmosphere and oxygen, and that's why the Shaw character from the Prometheus went there, her and David, but the whole coincidence is that they happened to be passing, like the guys in this movie were just happened to be passing by the planet where Shaw and David landed. That's a bit of a coincidence, like of the whole section of the galaxy, that's where they would have been. So, but maybe they explain that. I don't know.
But do you think it was a bit of a setup too, where they kind of had that message repeating in case somebody would hear it and bring them to their awesome world that they have?
Yeah,
right?
it's the same like in the original Alien. It was the same kind of thing. There's that, distress call or whatever. And then mother wakes them up and
So I was a bit confused about the alien craft that came to that planet.
The horseshoe-shaped one?
Yeah, and it destroyed all those people. And then what? It took off?
That was right.
And then it just took off, and I was like, okay,
They said,
that
"Ha,
explains,
fuck you."
That explains why there's all those bodies all over the place,
yeah.
petrified or
Yeah.
whatever.
That was
they
when,
were.
I guess, in
But-
Prometheus, when it ends, and then that's when they land. Because in Prometheus, that horseshoe-shaped ship, the engineer ship,
Okay.
takes off from the planet from Prometheus, takes place on, and it's
And
Shaw
that's the
and
alien
Dave
ship.
and
Okay.
David, and all those canisters right there are in that.
Okay.
If you've seen the first one, otherwise, yeah, it would make
Okay.
sense that you wouldn't know.
Okay.
But so yeah, I guess David unleashed them all on the people and killed them 10 years ago.
That's right. 'cause
when
he
they
was-
when they arrived. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
Well, I do like that. Like the part of the story elements I did enjoy. And like you say, the androids steal the show, and it's like that's all you care about is kind of what's going on with them. But then,
yeah.
But then they're playing the flute for 20 minutes and
Yeah.
stuff like this. It's like, come on, guys, it's a freaking alien movie,
Yeah, but aliens are people too.
and
There you go.
like music.
Everyone enjoys a good tune once in a while.
Tune on the old flute.
I guess it was trying to be a bit more heavier on
Sophisticated
emotions and the
Yeah,
story
they're-
of these supposed androids that
Experiment.
have-
You never know
have
what you're going to get from
emotions,
Ridley
right?
Scott. Yeah, his movies are always so different.
But
and
it was slow. I found the pacing to be kind of slow.
I found the pacing. Yeah, not so much slow, but it was all over the place. Like it was fast and slow, then fast and slow, which can be good, but I don't know. I guess I didn't have too much problem with the pacing, but I do know what you mean. I did pick up on something there. Yeah.
Yeah, the pacing was god awful. This thing was boring as hell. And then you kind of wait for it to get going. Yeah, they got these weird, like you say, CG aliens that don't really look cool. And
Yeah, I didn't really go for like at the beginning there. I thought it was just a bit. I like the one in the bay where she was locked in the bay. That was kind of good. Like in the medical bay or whatever, and then she couldn't get out. That was okay, but
and then yeah, so that one alien pops out, and then she's trying to defend herself. So what? She grabs a knife, and this thing is like
Yeah, I
the
kinda-
size of a mouse. It's like, and it's super fast.
I
Like
guess that's all she had in there. Yeah.
It's the size
you
of
would
a
try
cat.
to, yeah,
I
you
thought
would
it
try
was
to
a cat.
crush it, right?
Right.
I don't know, a knife. Come on. And the thing is super fast, and it's super uber deadly, right? It's like,
Got teeth like
I just thought the scene where it jumps on her when she's got the knife or whatever, and it jumps over, and then when they're struggling together on the floor there, it just looks so CGI-ish. Like
it did. It looked
that one,
totally.
yeah.
It just did not look right.
So, yeah, yeah.
And the guy next to me is cracking up at everything. Like they're breathing that stuff in through their nose. It's a laugh, right? The guy falls down. He's laughing. And then
I couldn't
was
understand why he was laughing at all. It was always the horror scenes that he would burst out laughing.
Oh, it's
so-
like, oh, this isn't a comedy, dude. Like, I'm trying to get suspense building here, and you're just like bursting out laughing at
Yeah,
the
I could hear
stupidest
him, too.
times. Wow. And then he was
yeah, it does kind of take away from it when you hear that in the background. Yeah, it's kind
right
of,
next to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and then he was making bird noises and stuff like that.
Was that what that
too.
was?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was like had something in his throat or something. Ate his popcorn too fast or something.
I was hoping he was gonna choke.
Like deliberate bird noises.
Yeah, like, because, well, I guess you must be a huge fan because it was before they said, oh, you can't hear no birds or
Everything.
anything.
Oh,
So he
okay,
was
so
making animal noises.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know, it was so bizarre.
He was like the Foley artist.
He was more entertaining than the film. Yeah.
That's his profession, laugh
Yeah.
track. He can't help it. It's whether it's sad or happy, he's always laughing.
Fill in the blanks with something else.
But yeah, I don't think they'll ever recapture the magic of the original film, and
It'd be hard to top, right?
I think that's kind of what we're all looking for when we go to these
Oh,
movies,
yeah,
and
for
we get
sure.
disappointed. And
Because the first two were awesome, right? Like they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
perfect movies.
we got Scott and James Cameron. I mean,
Yeah.
that was their time when they were in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it just goes to hell. Like even Fincher couldn't do anything.
Oh, part
with
3?
it. Yeah.
I didn't. I don't even know if I finished watching that. I was not into that one.
And they
at
were
all.
all terrible after that. So I was just hoping this one would be kind of a reboot of the original one or the original 2. And
Yeah. I think they are better though than the part 3, and I didn't even see 4.
I
but
don't know. those might just be more entertaining.
You know, the first one was so good because the dialogue was so good, and it was, you know, suspenseful
Very realistic and-
dialogue,
I've got to go
and the
take a
actors
piss.
were good. But I found that the acting, except for
Fassbender, yeah, he was really
was
good.
the only
Yeah.
one that was really
even the one-liners
solid.
that he gave, because
Yeah.
usually one-liners it's very hard to deliver, but he
Yeah.
delivered his like perfectly. I thought
That's
yeah.
what I found too. There was a couple of sort of, you know, one-liners in the thing that were kind of like, kind of
But and then
flat.
the guy next to me didn't laugh at even when they were trying to be funny.
when it
right?
was funny.
Yeah, it's like holy smokes, dude.
Wicked.
He was watching something else.
Probably something on his cell phone or something.
Probably something more exciting, anyways.
Hilarious.
But when I was walking into this movie, I thought it would be this Connolly. Is that how you say it? What do they call
Oh, the colony.
A colony.
Right,
it? Colony, yeah.
Yeah.
The 2,000 dudes they were shipping off to the
Yes,
planet. Yeah.
or even whatever, X amount. And I thought they would land on this planet and they were going to try to inhabit it.
Oh, okay.
And then they find these eggs, and then they start going through the whole thing that they would have went through
Right.
in the first movie, right? Discovering this thing on their face and all that, right?
Right.
So
Did you see Prometheus? Or because it takes,
I
it
did,
pretty
yeah.
much picks up where that one left,
It does,
which I
does.
knew it would. So yeah, which means they would have, like wherever David and Shaw went off to is where it would take place. So,
Well, they shouldn't have.
but yeah, it would have been. I know what you mean. They would have. It would have been kind of neat to have like a colony starting up and something like that. Yeah.
Because it would have been closer to the original movie, right? Where they don't know what it is or where it came from, or
Right.
just that it burst.
So I guess what they're trying to do is explain how it actually formed and to the thing that it is in the first
Right,
movie,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is what the whole David
The
character is trying
lead up to it.
He's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
engineer this thing and stuff, and yeah,
So yeah, I would say it's kind of the same cloth of Prometheus, of course, right?
right.
But I did find Prometheus was a better movie than this.
Oh, really?
And I wasn't a big fan of Prometheus, so
I like them. I think equal for me. They're about equal.
because I thought they had some really great moments in the first one.
It's not a bad film. Yeah, like I did get a lot of bad reviews, but I think it's better than the reviews have said about it. So.
But I think everybody's excited about an Alien movie, not a Prometheus 2 movie kind of thing.
Right.
And I know there's the tie-in.
Well, I think if they, like I say, if they had just kind of done not as many action scenes like with the aliens, had fewer of them, and just drag them out more, like make the suspense and
There
the
was
tension.
no suspense.
And there was none of that in
yeah,
this movie.
yeah.
For me, that's what ruined it, because I like the story. I like where it's going. I like, even though it's explaining everything, and I'm not usually a fan of that in movies, I like a certain level of ambiguity, like especially with Alien or The Thing, where you don't know. Because it's kind of the same thing as The Thing, right? Where there's this, like even in the original one, there's, when they go down to the planet, right? And there's the crashed planet, and they go in and they see the space jockey, right? And then there's the alien, right? And it's like, well, who is this space jockey? Who is this creature? Where did he come from? Is he the one that engineered this thing? Or did it attack him, right? And the ship crashed, and there's all these, it's the same with The Thing, right? You've got the ship at the beginning of The Thing crash landing on Earth, right? And then they discover the alien thing like many years later. But was it the alien's ship, right? Or was it another species that got overtaken by it, and that's why it crashed, right? So there's all these different ways you can interpret it, right? But when you answer all the questions, it kind of loses that, right?
Yeah, and like you say, the action scenes were not well done. Like that, I'm on top of the spaceship fighting this thing. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I really did not like this movie, and I really wanted to like this movie.
Yeah, I really, because I'm a fan. Me too. I'm a fan of the Alien thing and the whole franchise. And if they could make them all just as a masterpiece like the original, but of course it never happens,
Yeah, well, they're trying to take it to an intellectual level as well.
True.
Which,
true.
I don't know. Just give me like Aliens 2, where it's just nonstop action and suspense, right?
Yeah.
But then if they've done that already, maybe they did want to go back and revisit more of intellectual spin on things.
They definitely went
That's
in a
where they're
different
going, yeah.
direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Make it a little bit more deeper and
I
stuff.
mean, they could have really, I suppose they had to throw some aliens in there just for effect, right? I mean, you can't call it an Aliens and not have any aliens, but I think they could have developed the characters better. They could have built up some more suspense better.
The only real developed character is of course, Fassbender's characters.
He was the only interesting
Walter
one
and
in the whole. The other
and the rest of them
like,
are just cardboard cutouts, basically in the background. Yeah. Victims and stuff. And yeah. And whereas in the first one, again, going back to the thing, it's very similar to Alien in that you've got many characters. And they're all
in the first one.
Yeah, they're not just one. There's main character. It's an ensemble cast of I can't remember how many. It must have been about 9 or 10, right?
Yep.
The thing there's 12, and you get to know every single one of these characters, and you actually care about them.
Yeah, because there's lots of.
That's what makes
brilliant.
it work. That's what makes it. You got all that characterization right back in those days, and in this movie, they're all cardboard cutouts. Right? It's the same thing with the prequel to The Thing. You've got a group of characters. There's the one main character. Everybody else is in the background. And you don't care about these people when they die. So,
in the first one, you didn't even see the alien until close to the end, really. And you sort of just got little kind of glimpses of it once in a while, right?
Yeah,
just kind of fleeting off.
I like it when they're in the shadows and you just see the odd glimpse here and there. I kind of like that, but it's the build up to it. There's no build up. There's zero build up, and for me, that's what ruins it.
That's why the first one was so good
because it's all build up. Well, they had nothing to work with. When Dan O'Bannon wrote that script, he basically stole it from like a bunch of different movies, right? Like Forbidden Planet and a bunch of other films. He just took bits and pieces and kind of put them all together, right? And that's what formed that movie. And because they didn't have so many, they couldn't do special effects back then like they did. They had to rely on the suspense, right? And it kind of makes you think, well, if they could do all that, back in the day, would they? So, but it's a good thing that technology wasn't that good back then because they focused on the characters.
But I think the Alien itself and just how we learned what it was all about, because it's these eggs, this thing on the face, so we're kind of learning as they're learning about this thing, and it's fascinating,
right.
Which I just thought this movie was not fascinating or engaging, or sure, it might want to be more intellectual, but that doesn't mean it has to be boring, right?
Yeah. You want to have that.
Yeah, because they had a really
interest, right?
Yeah, because they really had that good story about, David, building replicas and genetically
and now that he's got
engineering them.
He's got this whole ship with thousands of
they
bodies
could have really
for
gone
test experiments, right? And to get the perfection just right and all that at the end there. So, which is good. The ideas are there. There's nothing wrong with it, and the story is there. But as you say, there's no. Okay, the pacing, it's all over the place.
And I thought it was all over the place anyways. It just seemed like it was
and the action is just too much. There's just too much of it. And when things are moving by so quickly like that,
nothing's moving quickly in this movie, I'll tell you guys.
In the action scenes, they were going like the shots were just going boom, 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 boom. And you can't really take it all in. It's going so fast.
Yeah. It just seemed like, to me, it seemed like a Transformers movie almost where, like you say, a lot might be going on, but nobody's really...
You can't digest it. It's all going so quick, right? And maybe the younger generation can because they're just born in this whole fast-paced world. But for me, I grew up on movies where things were slow and the tension build, the suspense was building, and then the delivery always came at the end, right?
But I just think that sloppy movie making, if you... are putting the scenes together where I can't follow it or it entices me, but it does the opposite and bores me, right? Because I don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah. Well, even I found the action scenes just I just wasn't into them myself. So
I think a part of it has to do with myself, anyways. I mean, the problem with all these spin-offs is that what do you do with them all the time? They get more and more diluted all the time.
They do.
It's inevitable that they're going to have some clunkers.
Yeah.
Well, they've had a lot of clunkers, that's for sure. But I think you're right. It's just turns into that Hollywood machine where they pump out their product
one after another.
And
look at the superhero movies. I mean,
God.
But it's strange because it's Ridley Scott himself directed this one, and I've even heard him talk in interviews about the importance of suspense and build up, and yet he's not doing it in this film. It's weird, yeah.
But I don't know if it's rumor, but I heard they're making another 3, and I'm thinking that
after they do these 3, they're going to do another 3. Oh
well, is this a part of a 3 or?
Yeah, there's going to be so the next one will where it ends, I guess, is supposed
Hope it
to
has a
pick up
better
where
title.
it'll pick up where the Alien begins, I guess. The Alien, the first one.
Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Then I don't know. I might give them another chance, but after tonight, I was just gonna say, no,
Yeah, they're worth watching, but
no.
yeah,
Like I wouldn't go to a movie theater if another.
just
one
don't go
came
in with high expectations, I guess, and you won't be disappointed.
out. And, exactly.
What else can you do? Right?
Go for a laugh or two. There's some great falling seeds.
Bring some people with you, have them sit beside you, and laugh throughout the entire film.
But it's sort of like, okay, we already know that the aliens pop out of guys' chests and backs, and
They really like the chest, don't they?
They really,
must be something
I think
in
they use that about
For the
3
comedy.
times.
You don't see them coming out of anyone's ass or anything like that.
I think that one came out of its mouth.
Yeah.
But they were just so
Yeah,
fast
they did that in
and
the other
so
one, too.
powerful. It was like, it was not an even matchup, right? So you just know the aliens would go in there and slaughter them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, like this, like, yeah, exactly. And it's like in the original one, when the first time you see it, right, when it comes out of his chest, it immediately goes and hides in the cracks like a mouse, you know. So it could be anywhere, right? It's like, where is this damn thing?
Yeah.
And you've got that idea, right, in your mind throughout the rest of the movie. You know this thing could
Yeah.
pop out at any time, right? While the story is going on. You don't have that in these ones, right? And that,
yeah.
Because you know it's gonna.
You know?
Who's
it's gonna
got
come.
the egg
You know,
in it? And yeah.
like the thing.
Yeah,
Again,
it
going
was-
back to the
it was
thing.
like
Who
the
is the
thing.
thing? And, you know,
Mhm,
all
yeah.
the time you've got that in your mind with you, then that adds to the build-up as well.
And I always thought that they were gonna, or hoped that they would do one where, like, the first one ends with Sigourney Weaver, Sigourney.
Sigourney Weaver? Yeah.
So what was her character name in that?
Ridley?
Ridley, right? I was hoping that like her cat would have been infected by the original alien, and then they would go to Earth, and then this thing would unleash on Earth, and just carnage.
like an alien cat, it would morph into a.
Well, it's just the cat would just be the host,
The
right?
host,
And then it
right.
would pop
Okay.
out of that thing. It'd be eating its tender victuals, and then all of a sudden,
Awesome.
Hey, it ain't no hairball.
like the ending with David,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
like that was right out of Scanners, and I could see that coming
I
a
saw
mile
it.
away.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Well, you knew it was David all along, you know, especially when
Yeah.
they panned down to his hand and stuff. And
Yeah.
you could tell that obviously he just tried
That's
to mimic
David's
it.
hand,
Yeah.
even though it's missing.
The missing hand, yeah. Well, it's just a cue, right? That, you know, is this him or is it not? And so you know,
But
it
she
wasn't.
didn't notice that. Nobody noticed that
But yeah, so
until she was in the pod.
I thought, well,
Well, that was kind of neat, actually, the way she found out, I guess. Yeah. What are you going to do? And then he shuts her.
F you.
You're dead.
Wow. So I guess to wrap it up, I say epic fail.
I'd say meh. Yeah, it was
Me, 50-50.
mediocre.
Yeah. So I was disappointed big time.
I wasn't super, because I didn't go in with high expectations. I expected something like Prometheus, and then that's basically what I got. I think I like it about as much as that one as well.
We'll have to wait till the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
More
what?
to go?
And do you guys remember what the trailers were for Trailer Talk?
Baywatch.
There was the one blonde something, or
Oh yeah, there was
She was a spy or something.
yeah. What the hell was that?
something blonde, or I can't-
Yeah, something blonde.
Looked okay. Did it?
Lethally blonde or something. I don't know.
Legally blonde, I think it was. No,
That was another one.
Oh, and just one fun fact for the Alien there, I noticed, or is in all the Alien films, they always name the android in the next letter in the alphabet. So the first one is Ash for A in the original Alien, and then it was Bishop for the second one, and then the third one began with C, and then you had David for this one,
Oh, yeah.
or Prometheus, but in this one it was Walter,
Walter,
so
so
they
he's-
didn't do the E or the F. I think 4 has an E or something. So anyway, little fun
So he's
trivia
like
fact.
the 23rd version.
They broke
then.
the letter sequence chain there. So
Uh-oh.
or maybe he's just that advanced.
there you go. Yeah, he's that many versions
The
of
23rd
yeah,
version.
That's what they're trying to say.
Come on.
Or 22nd.
Well, I don't know what it's called, but it's called what the King's
The Kingman?
Oh,
Kingsman?
Kingdom?
King-
Kingsley?
Kingsman?
Kingdom?
Kingsman.
Kingsland?
I don't know what- I don't know what you mean,
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, so that looked awesome, I thought.
Looked okay. Yeah.
I thought they did a really good trailer after seeing the Legally Blonde one or whatever the hell it was. Like, that was not a good... Like, they showed a ton of the movie,
Oh yeah,
and then by the end of the trailer, I didn't even want to see the movie.
that's right. You saw
That was
it
the
all.
one with Charlize Theron, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, well, we should find out what the hell that show was.
Yeah.
That looked kind of. I didn't know what to make of it, but
And they also had... I know they had the Apes preview in there.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
pumping
yeah,
that
yeah.
one big time.
Yeah.
are they any good? I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, the second one's good in this.
Okay,
I think they're going on in 4.
so this is the fourth one. Wow.
So is that all in chronological order, or is it all over the place? Like you have to know, okay,
guess
this
you
one, this one is the prequel to the last one. That
Right.
was the prequel, and so where does it all fit into the story?
Well, it shows how the apes became the apes from a chimp
Right.
with James Franco. You might want to skip that one.
Well, which one's that?
The one with James Franco.
Franco,
That's all you need to know.
So, and then Franco was in this movie too, and I thought the best thing that they did was they killed him off before they even gave him any screen time, and I thought that was brilliant.
Funny.
We get to see him is in a video montage or something, right?
So there's 4 of them. Wow. I mean, they must make these things like what, one every 2 years.
Well, don't quote me. Or this might be the 4th one, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they can.
So that's another franchise, isn't it? That
just blows my mind how fast they can make these things.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Or it could be 3, I don't know.
And a new Star Wars coming in December.
That's
Yeah,
despicable.
Oh, God, they crank one out every 6 months now.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
is.
into the those like the newer Star Wars so much. They're just
They really haven't made a really decent one, but I saw, or they showed the preview of that, didn't they?
Little bit of it. Yeah.
But why do they got it? Why is Luke saying get rid of the Jedi?
I don't know.
Why does he want to get rid of them? He's a Jedi.
I guess he wants. That's why they. What's it called? The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe he doesn't want anyone to follow in his place.
Or does he want to be the only Jedi? Or
I guess so.
Maybe, yeah. He wants to control the universe.
No idea. Yeah.
with space magic?
Stay tuned.
We shall find out.
Pretty sure it's all about space magic.
Space. I like space.
So yeah, I don't know what the other trailers were.
I forgot to.
I thought the second one looked fantastic, whatever it was.
The second one. Ooh. I don't remember the first one. The first one was Baywatch.
Oh, was it really?
I think so.
Yeah,
The
I think
first
it was,
trailer
yeah.
was Baywatch.
That might have been the pre-trailer trailers. That
Oh, maybe.
kind of that background they play.
I'm trying to remember. All I remember was the blonde one and the Kingsley or whatever it was called.
Kingsman.
Kingsman. Yeah, what?
And
It's
the
gotta be
Star
Kingsman.
Wars. Maybe there's just 4 of them.
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Kingdom.
But I was surprised to see 5-year-olds at this Alien movie.
Yeah, I'm like,
what the
what?
hell? Jesus. And,
Take your kid to that.
and even I didn't think the gore was very impressive at all.
There wasn't much of it.
But no, 5-year-old to that movie. I mean, it's an adult movie, right?
I don't think there's any decapitations. I think
There was
that's-
one.
there
The
was
floating
one.
head or whatever.
Oh right, they
girl.
kept showing it over and over
Somebody
again.
do something with that thing
She
already.
needs
They
to
just
take anything
leave it.
off.
Put a
floating
towel. Put a
around.
tea towel over that thing. Jesus Christ, we don't have to see it all the time.
Yeah, they showed it like 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
It was always,
Even Adrift only had one floating head shot.
and it was always spinning around.
The same shot. They just.
The eyes are moving. And,
Huh? What's that?
It's coming around again. It's gonna look at you.
again and again. But yeah, I thought the aliens looked terrible. And I did kind of like that one that it was almost like a man and it's standing at the door
Right,
and
right.
he's talking about breathing on his nipples. I don't know what that was about.
Well, that's where you get the softer, gentler side of the aliens.
And I think I like that side of
Romantic
them.
side.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of kissing
That
in
pus
this
coming
movie.
out of his mouth wasn't for anything.
That wasn't pus.
Oh.
But yeah, there's a lot of making out in this movie. And I expected this to, I have to give it to them. They did a tribute to the original Psycho movie. And I have to give them credit for that,
Go from the
right?
shower scene?
Yeah, the old alien shower scene.
Right.
What the hell?
Yeah, even that was sudden. There was no build up to that either. It just there it was. Boom, they're in the shower, and boom, they're dead, and boom here, and boom there.
And they always knew where the thing was because they just kept asking Walter, "Where is it?" It's on the second level.
Don't
above
worry.
You. Okay, well, that's cool. It's not here anyway.
And then at the end, when they're unleashing those trucks, like, do they get? I guess they get sucked out, right? And
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. I guess there may have been a shield or something to air protect the. You know, you see that in Star Trek and stuff, or the force field or whatever.
yeah, it's the oldest one in the book, right? We have to have the rooftop scene. It's like, well, we've seen that 100 times. And then the shower scene, yeah, we've
Yeah,
seen
the
that
action
one
scenes were
before.
very cliche. Yeah, in
Yeah.
that sense, no question. Yeah.
And the alien just didn't look great, I thought, until
They didn't really show it off the way they just slow.
And then it's like walking like a human. Like, I don't know. It just seemed super, like you say, computer
yeah.
animated.
Very
right?
CGI-ish. Yeah.
CGI-ish, very. So every time you saw those things, it's like, I don't
In
know.
the movement, I think the look of the last one they got down really good, but the movement felt very, as you say, very unreal.
Kind of like
It did not look real at all.
Kind of reminded me of the Yoda scene, and I can't remember which one, where he's all of a sudden he's like on steroids and he's going with his lightsaber and jumping around.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever, it was like, what? Yeah, moving around so quick. And
Yeah, so it's like he pops out. It's all CG. The CG blood's flying.
Yeah.
and then, I don't know. And then it's super quick, right?
exactly, that was just like it was over as soon as it began.
Before it started, yeah.
The scenes, like the action.
No,
scenes.
before it started, Paul. It was over before it started.
It's like the movie Irreversible or Memento.
They should have quit when they killed off James Franco.
James Franco.
That would have been
why
a
wasn't
perfect
he in this?
movie. Yeah, well, we probably could have enjoyed him getting tortured and killed a little bit more, right? Instead of just burning to death in his compartment.
That's right.
But it was I thought that was a good scene, and I liked
Which one? Sorry.
where he's burning to death in his...
Oh, in the pod
pod.
there?
Yeah, in the pod. And you could see his vitals on the thing, so it's like he's burning, and it's like the vitals aren't even going down, right? It's like, well, he's
Oh, I
going to
didn't
be in there a
notice
while.
He's not done yet.
He should be flatlining, but I guess not.
Hilarious. Yeah, just let him have some agony just a little bit longer.
And even they had the alien like headbutting the glass a few times, and to me that looked super fake too, right?
Oh, yeah?
You think?
I remember it happening, but I don't remember how real or fake it looked.
I've never seen them do that before. Is that something new they've learned?
Hope they got
They've
that in
learned to
their-
headbutt.
Their
Yeah.
spaceship insurance will cover that. It's about a $500 deductible for that windshield.
And they just don't make them like they used to, you know. You
can't-
think you'd be in space, they'd be a little bit thicker, but hey.
Totally.
So I guess that whole ship is going to be infected, eh?
Yep.
I guess
That's
so, yeah.
the hosts for the new.
So I guess
embryos.
probably the part 3 will be, as you say, with where he'll probably colonize them maybe
Yeah.
or something, and there'll be a colony of these hybrids or whatever.
He's on
alien
his way
hybrids.
to that planet.
Exactly.
That'll be 7 years.
Oh, yeah,
down.
yeah.
Yeah,
you're
so that's where it'll pick up, so
Because
maybe
they
that
only
will happen.
detoured
yeah.
a couple of weeks out of their way to go to this planet.
I'm I'm mostly interested in how they get to that, where the planet where the first alien picks up and how all the pods. You could see one of the pods in this movie from the original film was in this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're pretty close,
Close
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's forming from the Prometheus. They were very different.
Yeah.
They were canisters of the black goo or whatever, and this one now there's eggs and
Right. Yeah. Well, that is interesting. And there was something else that was interesting too, but I can't remember.
wicked.
Super interesting. The eggs and stuff. So, yeah, I find it fascinating that they need the human host in order to create this super life form, right? So they have to draw those humans in, and
or anything like. So it starts with I'm trying to remember.
I thought you could use a cat.
You could use a cat too. I think if
Okay.
you
you
wanted.
probably could, yeah.
I think anything
Any warm
biological or
blood.
something or.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the first movie, right, he drinks it. Prometheus, in the beginning of Prometheus, the engineer or whatever, the space jockey dudes,
And are they huge?
the big guys, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
that they're the guys that basically, I think, got the ooze or created the ooze or whatever. And so they would go. The idea is that they populated all the life on all these different planets, Earth being one of them. And he drinks the ooze. I guess that's on Earth or whatever. But Ridley Scott said it could be like any planet or whatever. So, but basically they drink it, then he dies, and it infects his body, and then that gets into the water, right? Because you see him fall into the waterfall in the beginning of Prometheus.
Yeah.
And then that creates the DNA strand, which creates life and stuff. And so basically, any biological life form, I think, can host this thing. Getting back to your original question or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but except for plant life, I don't think.
Right.
Right.
It's got to be
Not
probably
yet.
warm.
Yeah, and this one in that planet, they were like little spores, like shot out of those plant things or whatever.
And I didn't like that at all.
What was that? I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Because it was, maybe that was how it. Maybe that's where
a
it
different
began
species
from.
of them or something.
But I think they created that. They created that to kill anything living. He says whatever's meat is basically dead.
Right.
So that's why he was flourishing in this environment, because
Right, he's not.
Right.
they had nothing on him, right?
Right, they didn't add use for him because he was mechanical.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could be the rise of the AI. I know that's Podgal's biggest fear.
A very realistic and scary one.
Probably scarier than this movie, I'll tell you that.
Oh, it will be. Yeah.
So, well, I guess we'll go around and rate it from 1 to 10. I don't know. We might have to edit that out.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're saying 50-50, so you'd be 5.
I guess. I don't know. I'll give it a 6.
I'd give it about a 6.
6 or 7, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to watch it a second time.
Wow, you guys are diehards. I would probably give it a 3 or 4
Oh, okay.
on the alien scale rating.
Right. Yeah. Well, as I say, like, I think the main problems for me are, like, I like all the story and all the themes and all that kind of stuff going on, but it's just the way the action scenes are all done. For me, that's where it all falls apart.
It's
so,
poorly executed on
Yeah.
so many levels, yeah.
So I think they got the 2 out of the 3 things right. So I'd give it around a 6 or 7. Yeah.
Jeez, well, they
don't know.
gotta get it right soon, right?
Yeah,
In the world of averages, they've got to be coming up with a good one soon, right?
Yeah.
And what's the next one going to be when
Every 6 months.
David takes the spacecraft to the planet, right, and then starts colonizing.
Colonizing and stuff, and
Yeah,
that's
with
where
the-
the next
with the
one will probably
aliens.
take
Yeah.
over.
So stay tuned.
Just a couple more years to go.
Well, I guess that's it. So we were talking about Prometheus 2, or as you like to call it, Alien Covenant.
Right.
Is that what they call it?
Something like that.
Okay, and well, I'm Podguy, and with me I've got Paul,
Paul.
and I've got Dougems.
Hey, well, thanks for having us. Bye.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
He's dropping the mic. He's out of here.
He's gone.
So are we. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.